Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? I'm back again with another video. This time, I want to discuss my guy like a combat guide on how to play the Stamina DK build. My Morag Tong Plague Doctor setup. Um, I want to discuss a few things beforehand. Really want to state that once again, I'm not calling anybody out here. I'm sure people are going to stumble across this. They're going to see videos, and you know, there are a lot of people out there posting like exposed clips on YouTube and stuff. This isn't about that. You know, we all die in this game. We all respawn. To say otherwise is silly. You know, I've had clips recorded against me. I've recorded clips of other people because I'm trying to provide information on how to play a build that I think is very strong. That in turn is going to make, it'll make some people upset because they're on a video, but it's not about that. It's not. I'm not here like saying like, hey, whoever this red is right here, this guy fucking sucks. He's trash. Watch how trash he is. Watch how I expose him with my clips. That's not what I'm saying. Like I don't have a problem with anybody on a personal level in this game at all. We just fight, and we're gonna have fun clips where we kill people. They're gonna have clips where they kill us, and that's just the way it is. And there's going to be a lot of people that take that stuff way too serious. I'm just trying to clear the air that that's not my goal. My goal is to show this build in action, explain where to fight, explain how to fight. And so if people are curious and they want to try this type of playstyle for Battlegrounds or for small scale PvP, they're better prepared to where that they can actually utilize this build to its strengths. So yeah. So anyways, I will post a link to this build video in the description below, and if you're curious. But I'm running 5 Plague Doctor, 5 Morag Tong on the front bar, and a Maelstrom Battle Axe on the back bar. What we have with this setup, also 2 Tremor Scale. What we have with this setup is we have access to a Merciless Charge dot. Because we're running an axe, we have an axe blade dot on the back bar. And we have Noxious Breath and Venomous Claw. So we have 4 dots on our back bar. On our front bar, we're running double drain health poisons. We're also running Tremor Scale, which is a snare, and we are running Reverberating Bash, which is a major defile. So we have 4 dots on our back bar. We have poisons on our front bar for 5. We have Tremor Scale, which is a snare for 6, and we have major defile, which is 7. So we have 7 debuffs or effects that we apply to people with this setup. Our poisons are buffed by Morag Tong. Our poisonous dots are buffed by Morag Tong. And the 4-piece is very strong in general for a 4-piece damage set. So we hit very hard. Our dots tick very hard with Tremor Scale, with Light Attack, Ransack, Bash, with the 5-piece we're running with our max stamina. We're already bursty without Tremor Scale, and we have hard-hitting dots. So we hit hard, we heal well, we have decent recovery. Our weaknesses, though, is we're not running Shuffle. And you can run Shuffle with the setup. I find I run lower recovery. Like Shuffle doesn't save me. And that's all I'm going to say. Like, I don't really get saved by Shuffle that often because I'm wearing heavy armor. The snare immunity is nice for 2 seconds, but I'm not fast enough to utilize it and get out. So if I use Shuffle, I dodge roll, I try to get away a little bit. I'm still slow. They're still going to get close to me, and they're going to get there. So I build my DK to be tanky, to be able to take some damage and still dish it out. And if I'm not going to use Shuffle, that allows me to put another dot on my bar. It allows me to put an execute on my bar. Anything else to do more damage with the setup that, doesn't look like it hits hard on paper, but due to the amount of things that we're doing, we're hitting with a bunch of dots, and we're applying major defile. And this setup is going to be very strong. In my opinion, in Battlegrounds, it's very strong in a 1v1 situation due to the amount of pressure that we're applying. And I really want to show those things and like how to fight with the setup if you're curious. So with all that being said, this is a fight in Memorial. A couple people are dead. We had a really long fight in here, like an hour-long fight where all of the yellows, there's like 8 to 10 yellows, there's a good group of about 6 to 8 reds, There was me and my buddy, and there was a couple random blues rolling in. You'll see in a couple clips, like a bomber comes in, and then there's a Stamina Nightblade kind of playing next to us for most of the clips. So it was essentially 3 of us most of the time. Sometimes it was like 5 blues. We fought for an hour. We wiped a few times. We wiped them a few times. It was really good fights. You don't get this too often. So win or lose, that was just fun. That was just fun to have a 3-way battle like that. So we're coming in here, and we see 2 people dead on the ground. We see 1 guy on the flag. This is a red district, so reds are going to keep spawning back. And so we want to, in a 3-way fight, we want to focus the group that's going to keep spawning. And you know, if we wipe yellows have to wipe, and they have to respawn in the district over and then run all the way over. Reds just spawn right down and around this corner. So we want to make sure we wipe out the reds. We want to get the flag flipped so that nobody's spawning back and it's our flag, and we spawn right up top here. That's what we want. So we see them reviving, and we're going to try and go in. We see this guy right there. We see revives. We see there's a Stam DK. There's 2 Sorks. It looks like the 1 Sork's wards go down. We have a leap. We're going to gap close on him. We're going to try and take him out right away. We miss it. He stacks his wards very well. We have 2 Magic Sorks that are going to hit very hard. We want to keep our buffs up. We're running defensive posture. You see how I'm kind of glowing like I have tinfoil on me? That's defensive posture. What that means is a projectile that they hit me with is going to get reflected back, and it's going to stun them. Now, when you're fighting a Magicasork, Magicasorks hit very hard, but they have a pretty predictable combination, and you could interrupt that very easily with defensive posture. You reflect the frag or you reflect a light attack, you prevent them from getting that combination off. They can't nuke you more often than not. So when we go in here and we're fighting a lot of Sorks and they're going to be casting on us, we want to try and keep our defensive posture up. If we see something hit us and it gets reflected back, we got to put defensive posture back up. We're going to put our vigor back up, because that's what's going to keep us alive. So we go in there, apply our dots. Our Noxious Breath is an AoE cone. We're going to apply to a bunch of people. We're going to hit this guy with our single target dot. Light attack, ransack, bash. That guy's not dying. This yellow comes in. We reverb him. Tremor scale goes off. Trying to follow my buddy's Purifying Light. I get a meteor dropped on me, so I block the meteor. I heal immediately afterwards. The biggest thing with any stamina class is the minute you start taking damage, you have to put your vigor up. A lot of Magicka classes, they hop over to stamina and they get kind of destroyed right away, because you know they're so used to either Breath of Life or wards. Like, you know, they take some damage and they put wards up, or they take a bunch of damage, they put Breath of Life up, and Breath of Life heals them for like 10,000, and it's an instant burst heal. Stamina classes in general, unless your rally takes a while, they don't have a big burst heal like that, a big reliable heal. So you have to use vigor in outnumbered fights like this so you don't get dropped down and execute. If we drop down in execute range, Mage's Wrath can go off. It's very reliable. That'll blow up and do a bunch of damage, and that can also proc Implosion. If we're fighting a bunch of Sorks, one of them is going to implode us, you know, at some point. So we want to make sure we don't allow them to get to that situation. So we're applying our dots. We're hitting with Tremor. Tell my buddy, hey, hit this guy with Radiant. We're doing damage. Yellow comes in, leaps him. So now he's dead. Now we're trying to take out this other Sork, because the Sork's Sork's going to be a little bit easier to kill than a good Stamina DK that has really good healing. The Nightblade's on this Stamina DK. I tried to leap there, but as you saw, his healing was very good. He backs off the flag. We now have yellows coming in. Huge scrum. And this is why I wanted to highlight this fight is, you know, Battlegrounds is going to be 4v4v4, and you're going to be fighting one group, and then the other group's going to come in, and you have to change your priorities. You know, we wanted to finish off the reds there, but now we have 2 yellows coming in. So now we're going to focus the yellows. And, you know, what we want to do here is we don't want to get pinched. You know, we don't want to be in the middle on the flag, have reds behind us, and have yellows down here at the base, and we're getting attacked from 2 different sides. You see we're fighting at the top of the stairs. We have our back against the wall, and we're just fighting groups as they come to us. That's how you kind of have to fight outnumbered on a flag in this type of situation. So this guy gets feared. We're trying to take out the Argonian Templar healer. They heal very well. We see this guy soul assaulting the Nightblade that's with us. Now, Soul Assault is a very good hard-hitting skill, but its biggest weakness is its channel, and you can't do anything while you're in the channel. He was at half health. Our priorities changed from hitting the Templar to hitting the guy at low health, hoping to quick burst him. Because he can't defend himself right now. He has to block out of the channel, and then he has to heal up. So we're going to hit him with a reverb, light attack, ransack, bash, tremor scale goes off, he's now dead. So now we have the Templar spamming Breath of Life. We're going to apply our dots to him. We get leapt on. Reds are back. So now you see me putting Vigor, Igneous, I'm blocking, I'm trying to keep my heal over times up, getting casted a lot here, very tanky, but got to back up, going to put defensive posture. Basically, we're trying to get to the stairs here so that we're not getting focused by, you know, the 5 people. I saw a guy with low health, or without a ward up, tried to leap on him, leapt on the wrong person here. Big mistake. Just a miss. Go in, that guy gets hit with a meteor, we have a Destro ult to come in, we wipe. But really fun fight. Yeah. This is the same fight. Reds are gone. It's about 8 yellows. And it's me and my buddy, and it's that same Nightblade who's hitting very hard. He's running a very high damage set. And the cool thing about this Nightblade is he does a good job of playing with us and focusing who we're focusing. So there's about 8 people down here, roughly. I don't know how many there exactly was. But it's 2 of us working together with a Nightblade, almost outnumbered 3 to 1. What we're going to do here is we're going to try and pick people off and get into manageable situations to where we turn this 8-on-3 into like a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-1 or a 2-on-1, 2-on-2, something manageable that we can take them out with. So we hear that, we put our movable on, we got our movement speed. We see 3 people here. This guy's at low health, crit rush, dot, Viper Tremor, reverb, he's dead. We're getting hit pretty hard here. We're going to put our defensive posture up. Now, we saw about 4 people in the back there standing on that side. We're going to go around this wall. We see this guy and another guy by himself. So it's 2 of us. It's essentially a 2-on-2, but it actually turns out to be a 3-on-2 because the blue's playing with us so well. So I leap on this guy. My buddy soul assaults him. He's instantly nuked. He's dead. We now have a 3-on-1. We're killing this guy. The other yellows decide to stay on the flag. So we've now turned essentially a 3-on-8 into like a 3-on-5 or a 3-on-6 because we killed those people. I'm going to go in first with the crit rush. I'm going to apply my dots to this guy in front, healing. Very tanky, defensive posture, Viper Tremor. Getting hit with a bow ulti here. They're dropping an Atronach. Very tanky. Defensive posture, still healing through the bow ulti, still healing through everybody casting on me. My buddy in the background hitting me with a couple breath of life as I need it. I heal up, I pop my shield ulti, and now I go on the offensive with this Nightblade. We take that guy out really quick. This guy casted, he took some damage. 1 dot, 2 dots, gravity, he's dead. 2 quick kills. This guy's trying to revive over here. We're going to crit rush to gap close in. We're going to get this guy trying to revive. We're going to bash it. Reverb, Viper Tremor, or not Viper Tremor. We are not running Viper Tremor. We are running Morag Tongue. But Tremor scale goes off, light attack, ransack, bash, or poison. He's dead. The next 2 fights are going to be 1-on-1s against a sorcerer. And in my opinion right now, sorcerers are one of the best dueling classes in the game. You know, stamina DK is too. I'm not saying that they're stronger, I'm just saying that they're strong. Stamina, a well-played Magicasaur doesn't really have a weakness against anybody. You know, like, they're a very, very strong class. And so I wanted to show 1-on-1 against a very good Magicka class, and I wanted to show a 1-on-1 against a good healing stamina class, just to show how to play this class in a 1-on-1 situation against those types of people. Like, once again, this is not to expose anybody. I just had this clip. I thought it would be useful for this to kind of highlight things, you know, highlight where I made mistakes because I'm not the best DK, and, you know, how we proceed to get our kills with the setup. So we're on the flag here, and we're just, you know, taking out the ads, trying to flip the flag, trying to get our 1500 AP, waiting for yellows or reds or whoever to show up. Put our defensive posture up. We have Igneous that we're spamming every once in a while just because it prevents crit damage from gankers. You know, we're going to try and keep our heal over times up if we have full resources. Just messing around. We're going to have a sorcerer show up. Now, the thing with the sorcerer is they have very good damage, like I said, but they do have predictable burst combos. So you're going to get hit with a curse. They're going to try to hit you with a frag so that when you fall down, the frag and the curse explodes and you die. So if you know that that's what a Sorc is trying to do, you can kind of prepare yourself, especially with Sword and Shield, especially with defensive posture. You know, we're running defensive posture for the 8% reduced damage while blocking, which is very valuable outnumbered, but it also reflects projectiles. So when we get hit with we can see his arms glowing when we're going to hit with a frag. We know when it's coming. We know about the time it's going to, when he wants to hit us with it, is when the curse is about ready to explode. So if we get hit with a curse, we want to make sure our vigor's up. We want to make sure our defensive posture's up so he can't hit us with the full combination. We can interrupt his combination. We can use our heal over times to stay healed to full to where he can't really burst us. And as long as we're careful, our dots and the amount of pressure we have with Tremor Scale, the pressure that we have with Morag Tong buffing our poisonous dots, and our leap is going to give us opportunities to kill him when his wards are down. So, yeah, want to avoid his combo while also just playing the waiting game with the amount of dots that we have ticking on him. So that's one dot. Now we're gonna pop our vigor, defensive posture, dot again. We're gonna dot him with that. We're gonna dot him with that. Now we're gonna hit him with a reverb. Now you can see he stacked a ward, but all those dots ticked, and now he has no wards on now. He has no wards, and he's stunned, and he has the CC break. So this is the game that we're going to try and play. We're going to try and get his wards down, and we're going to hit him with a leap and an execute. That's the goal. Not saying it's going to work out that way, but that's how it's going to work. So now we're just hitting with Line of Attack, Ransack, Bash. We took a little bit of damage there. We're going to pop our Vigor. We want to keep our heal over times up. He doesn't put his mines down, so we're just on top of him, applying our dots. Defensive posture, you see right there, I took some damage. Wanted to reflect his frag in case he popped it, in case he hit with that, and then I popped a Vigor so that we stayed healed to full. Try and go on the offensive again. He hits us with a really good combination right there. Hits us with a frag. He light attacked to take off the defensive posture. Curse went off, frag went off, hit us very hard. He's animation canceling pretty well. We're going to block. We're going to put our defensive posture up again. We're going to heal. We're going to hit him with a reverb. We're going to hit him with a leap. I thought his wards went down a little bit further. They didn't. So the leap really didn't do anything to finish him off. He got up. He CC broke. Now, the thing with this build and why it's so strong in this situation is like he's block casting. He's doing a very good job of animation canceling his curse, his frag, his light attacks. If I go back a very small amount, let's go back to here and just play it through. He's doing a very good job of light attack. You see how he's block casting everything? Doing a very good job of getting his cancels off, putting out a ton of damage. And even though we're a DK with good health, he's put a lot of pressure on us. The problem with that, though, with this setup is because we're applying so many dots, every time he blocks, he is losing a little bit of stamina. And so these dots are just ticking away on his resources when he's block casting. And you'll see in both these fights that I'm going to show that he runs out of stamina both times because he's literally just stacking wards. He's trying to stay alive. Those dots dropped his health. We reverb him here. Viper Tremor goes off. He's dead. He's not able to CC break in time. He's over. He's got to respawn. Dots are ticking very hard to where he has to burn a lot of magicka, and then we have burst combinations when his wards go down. So, and we can reflect his combination if we play well. And we're not always going to play well. You'll see in this next clip, where I make a mistake, but he's going to respawn and come back. It's his district. Defensive posture up, vigor up, igneous up. We're going to crit rush in. That's a dot. We're going to apply that dot. We're going to apply that dot. And now we're going to try and reverb right here. Heavy attack. He kind of knows what to expect, so we're trying to, make sure we sustain because this fight's probably going to be a little bit longer. He knows what our combo is. He knows what we're running. He came in right away and set down mines, and he dropped his Destro ulti. So we're going to back out of that. We're going to put our defensive posture up, and you see he gets stunned right here. He's stunned in a Destro ulti with his wards down. So get a little thirsty here, and I go in, pop my vigor. I eat a mine right there. I apply the dots because he's warding up again, so I say screw it. Pop another vigor, pop an igneous. This is where I make my mistake. So I'm applying my dots. His wards are down. And instead of playing the long game where I try to, not get caught with his burst, I make a huge mistake here. And the mistake that I make is I don't pop vigor when I go into his mines. You see he's standing on a mine. I'm going to leap on him here. And so I'm going to try and take him out because I see wards are down. He's on the offensive. That's how you take out a Sork. You burst him with a leap. If I catch him with an execute, he's dead. That's what I'm trying to do. But what I didn't do is I didn't pop vigor before I went into his mine. So I'm going to leap, and I'm going to eat this first mine, And then I'm going to go in for the kill right here, and I'm going to eat the second mine as the curse goes off, as I eat a frag. So I almost died because of that one mistake. If he had a Mage's Wrath right here, I was dead. Just done. Like, he would have killed me, and it was all because, we didn't play our build well. We went for the kill, and we jump into his mines without a heal over time, and now we're on the defensive because that curse is going to go off again, and it's unblockable. So now we need to turtle up a little bit. We need to make sure that our heal goes up so when the curse goes off, it doesn't kill us. We hit him with Light Attack, Ransack, Bash. We're applying our dots again. He's stacking wards. We're trying to execute here because the dots are ticking. He's stacking wards. Heavy attacks. We're going to hit him with a Reflect right there because we saw his frag proc. Now you can see it stuns him. So he hit himself with his own frag. We're going to go around the mines, but because he was block casting, because we were putting so much pressure on him, he's out of stamina. So we go around this corner, crit rush, execute. He's done. Very good fights against a very hard-hitting Magicka sorcerer. And, you see, like, he had his chance to kill me. I had my chances to kill him. And, if we play our class well and we, jump into mines with vigor, we can do good. We can play very well against a Magicka Sorc with this setup. We can play very well against a Magicka Templar with this setup with the amount of pressure we're putting on people. I know everybody's going to say you can purify and you can heal, but at that point, how is a Templar going to kill you if literally all they're doing is purging your dots and spamming Breath of Life? They're not going to be able to apply pressure to you if you're hitting them with a hard-hitting Light Attack, Ransack, Bash. You have dots ticking, and you have Tremor Scale. You have Burst, you have Major Defile, and you just put them on the defensive. And that's the same thing we did with this Magicka Sorc. We were chewing his wards. He constantly had to reapply them, and Tremor Scale is just a very hard-hitting thing. He popped a Destro ulti on us, but it wasn't the one that moves with him, so we were able to easily get out of it. If he had that and he caught us with a combination, like if he had that Destro ulti when we hit that frag, we were dead. He had a few chances to kill us, and we capitalized instead of him. So fight's over. This fight is to highlight the battle outside of. I wanted to show this in open world and like how to kind of play it. We don't have shuffle. We don't want to get bogged down by a Zerg, so we basically want to find spots where we can line of sight a little bit. We're to use our movement speed pots to have our, major expedition, and we're going to use shield ulti in some spots to where we can get in and out of fights, so we can block, we can prevent casters from hitting us, so we can get to spots more manageable. This is about a 24-man group. This group also has Emperor. We're basically like trying to pepper the side of this this large group here to pull them off to the side to wipe them out. We have a few blues on the wall, and so we're going to get some friendly fire from them in this area. But if we can pull 4 or 5 off to the side, that turns a 24-man group into a 20-man group. If we can pull a few more, we're basically just trying to like narrow this down. So we pulled this guy off to the side. My buddy hits him with a Toppling Charge, Purifying Light. He hits with Radiant because the Purifying Light was going to blow up. I leap. I hit him with a Crit Rush. He's now dead. Now we see revives here. We're going to go in. We're going to try and interrupt this revive. And we get hit with a lot of people. A lot of people are focusing us. We're going to pop our Vigor. We see a guy spamming chains on us over and over again. Defensive Posture. It's his goal to chain us, apparently. That's his job, to pull us back into the group. Low level. Reverb, Light Attack, Ransack, Bash. So we kill him. Now we're going to pop a shield ulti. We see a revive. We see a healing ulti. We can't kill anybody currently in a healing ulti, so we're just going to get out. We're going to stop the revive and just reset the fight and get back around here to something a little bit more manageable. We see a guy over here off to the side. He's peppering us with arrows, but he's by himself. He's away from healers. Low level, easy to kill. Crit Rush, Dot, Soul Assault. Light Attack, Ransack, Bash. He's dead. My buddy gets hit with a Soul Assault. I hit him with an Igneous there, and I pop a Vigor. He couldn't switch bars to get his Breath of Life off. So as a DK, what we can do is we can put a small shield on him to prevent him from taking crit damage for a split second, and we can hit him with a small heal over time with Vigor, so that it just helps a little bit. These little things are what what you want to try and do with your class to help other people. Like if you're on a Nightblade and your Templar buddy's getting jumped on by 5 people, you ambush in, you fear, you try to take somebody out of low health with an incap. The fear will get those guys off of your buddy to where he can get Breath of Life off and he can get healed to full. If he's getting focused and you're on a Stamina or a Magicosauric, you streak through him. You CC him all so that he can get a little bit of pressure off him and he can get healed to full and he can get restationed. You know, if I'm taking a lot of pressure, he's going to hit me with Breath of Life. He's going to heal me to full. That's what a good group does, is you try and support your other person, because a 2vx doesn't happen if he dies. A 2vx doesn't happen if I die. You know, like it turns an 8-on-2 where we're outnumbered 4-to-1 into an 8-on-1, which is basically unmanageable, you know, depending on who they are. Sorry about that. So now we see the Emperor right there. We see about 5 people. Pop a defensive posture. We see we're getting hit with a few things. We're going to try and reflect those back. Damage not taken makes us more tanky, so we're going to keep our defensive posture up. We're going to line of sight a little bit here. Really just try and pull some people back. We see a bunch of low levels. We see them with Emperor. Emperor's obviously going to hit very hard. We just got to be careful here. We want to pull a few back to where it's manageable. We're going to get behind this little wood pylon. See, we're pulling about 5. The one in the front is level 21. We're going to go in with a crit rush. We get hit with a javelin. We're still going to try and take him out because they're a healer. Radiant, light attack, ransack, bash. Tremor scale is going to go off, and now they're dead. Now we see another healer. Everybody's in a healer right now. Light attack, ransack, bash. They're in a healing ulti. We leapt with our soul assault, or with our radiant, with our execute. We were still able to kill them in a healing ulti before they kept everybody alive. Now a couple blues hop down. They hit with Destro ultis on the rest of the group. We now have a 2-on-1. This guy has Phoenix, so we get to kill him twice, and the fight's over. So the blues came down. They wiped that group. We peppered these guys off to the side. We managed to effectively split the group up a little bit to where it was more manageable for the rest of the blues and us. This fight is basically to show like how to pick and choose your fights on this character. You know, we're not a Nightblade. We can't randomly stealth out of nowhere. Like the goal on a Stamina DK sword and board in open world is to kind of go from rock to rock or tree to tree, or like line of sight abilities to where we can stop incoming damage and we can get something more manageable. We don't have high movement speed unless we run these potions, which we do have major expedition, but you know, we're not going to be super flighty with this character. We're not going to be super stealthy. We're tanky, and we can build in some movement speed to where we can like you know, spread a group out a little bit, but not super high movement speed. But this can be effective in open world if you pick and choose your fights well. Next fight is a 1-on-1 against. Next one is a 1-on-1 fight against a Stamina DK. Now the main reason I wanted to show this is we showed a video on a Sorc. We wanted to show like how strong this setup is against like a Magicka class. You know, being able to stack wards is a very strong thing in this game right now. Our dots just eat through wards. It's going to do the same thing to a Templar. It's going to do the same thing to like a Magicka Nightblade. Our dots are going to be very effective on a Magicka DK because they can't purge them. So I wanted to show how this works against like a tanky stamina class that has major mending, like a DK. And most DK fights are pretty bad. You know, it's just tank versus tank. The fights go on for forever because they both just have unlimited sustain, and they both have great healing, and nobody really goes down. However, with this setup, our dots tick really hard. You're going to see in this fight, essentially, when we apply our dots and we buff them with Morag Tong, they're going to tick on him so hard that when our tremor scale goes off, when our light attack, ransack, bash goes off, and we're putting a lot of pressure there, he's not going to be able to heal from it. You know, he's going to go on the defensive almost immediately. And this guy has major mending. You know, he's got a shield ult, he's got sword and board, he's a Stam DK, he's got really good healing. He's even got increased healing with corrosive armor. Or not corrosive armor, spiked armor. So he's got the 8% more healing there. And you'll see this entire fight, like, he goes on the defensive because he can't recover. So we hit him with light attack, ransack, bash. We applied our dots. You see his health low. He pops his vigor. We're trying to execute him. He's low health. He pops a shield ulti. We go in for the leap here. We miss it because, you know, he's shield ulting. He's popping his heals, and you see this entire little fight here. He's just trying to heal, but because of the amount of dots we have on him and how hard they hit, he can't get healed back to full. So now he's on the defensive. He's not hitting us, and we're just teeing off on him. And this guy's a good stamina DK, you know. But this setup with Tremor Scale, with Morag Tong, with the amount of dots that we have, just ticks on people, and that's why this is a very strong setup in one-on-ones. We're going to see here that, you know, at the end he dies because our dots are ticking, and you know, we didn't even hit him with a tremor there. We're just applying our dots again, and he dies from the dot ticks. This setup is very strong. We have a lot of pressure. We're very tanky. This is a very strong dueling setup. Obviously, Tremor Scale is very powerful. You don't have to run Tremor Scale for this to be a powerful setup, though. You could run two-piece, like one-piece Kina, one-piece Veladreth. You could run 2 Bloodspawn for more sustain, and then, you know, and hit, have more ultimate regen, and you get more burst with your ultimate. Like, that would be just as nasty. That would be almost as nasty as this. Having more sustain, being able to apply more pressure. You could run 2 Veladreth, and Veladreth is, you know, almost, it's going to hit almost as hard, and it's going to be, in a 1vx situation, it's going to be just as good as Tremor Scale. You could hit even harder with Selene. It doesn't proc as much, but it hits way harder, you know. And you can basically, like, almost 2-shot people, you know, with that. They're going to be on the defensive with Selene, too, and you hit them with a reverb after the Selene, and the dots tick, and now they can't heal because they have Major Defile on them, you know. All these monster sets are going to be very strong, you know. You could even run Spawn of Mephala. Spawn of Mephala will be buffed by Morag Tong. So if you do a fully charged heavy attack, and those little spider things sprout below them, that's a 10% buff to Morag Tong as well. I deleted mine, so I didn't get to try that a whole lot. I don't think it's as functional or as good as Tremor Scale, but it would still be very effective in this setup. So regardless of what monster set you run, what we're running is very strong, is all I'm trying to say. And about the only weakness that this class will have in a one-on-one situation is against a very good flighty Stamina Nightblade. I think a Stamina Nightblade that gets in and out of stealth, that has high recovery, good mobility, and just does a good job of ticking away at our resources. If they do a good job of CCing us, hitting us with a burst, making us heal up and go on the defensive and block a little bit, and they just basically jump in and out of the shadows at us and pick and choose their spots, we don't have super high recovery, so we have to play very carefully against them. Because if we don't time our burst correctly against the Stamina Nightblade and hit him with a heavy attack Ransack to like burst with Tremor Scale and then hit him with a reverb and a leap, if we don't connect on all those well, they're going to just be able to cloak in and out of our damage, and they're going to out-sustain us because, you know, most Stamina Nightblades are running more sustain than a Stam DK. Stamina DK is sustained by being in somebody's face. It's hard to be in a Stamina Nightblade's face when they're bouncing all around. So that's going to give us problems. A good Magicasork, as you saw, like, they hit very hard. They can give us a hard time, especially if we don't keep our defensive posture up, if we don't keep our vigors up. If a Templar decides that they don't want to die, everybody knows, like, Templars in a one-on-one situation don't currently die if they don't want to. So with all that being said, this setup is very powerful. It doesn't have a ton of weaknesses because we have counters to all of them. We have high burst, we have good dots, and we can just play the sustain game against most people. And even when we can't play the sustain game against, like, a Stamina Nightblade, we can play the burst game with Tremor Scale or with Selene or, you know, with just our light attack Ransack Bash combo and catch them with a reverb and a leap. You know, our leap hits hard with the setup. So a lot of different strengths to this setup, and, you know, not a lot of weaknesses in, like, a one-on-one slightly outnumbered fight. Not the best open world setup, but, you know, this isn't meant for open world. This is going to be built around battlegrounds, fighting in the sewers, slightly outnumbered fights, not major outnumbered fights. So I hope this is useful. Hopefully this provided information for all you guys on if you're interested in this build and, you know, want to play something like this. Yeah. I'm going to cut the video there. Going to leave it at a very short 34 minutes. I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day.